Oh my gosh, it feels like it's been so long since I've been on here. I batched a couple of episodes, which the last two that you've probably seen. And then I've had a little bit of a break. So a couple of weeks where I haven't been podcasting and I've missed you all so much, honestly. I love podcasting. It's actually one of my fucking favorite things to do on a Monday and actually just really gives my Monday purpose. And I fucking love that. So grateful to be back. So excited to share all the incredible things that have happened over the past 2 weeks. It actually feels like it's been a lifetime. Like it has been such a big shift. And if you've been going through this old identity, death, like literal death, uh, mhm, of like all these things that are holding on, they're like the old parts of you, right? They're like how you used to show up in the world, how you used to be. And then they don't want to let go, right? They're like, like gripping on. And then like there's this transition to the new you. And holy shit, isn't that wild? And there's obviously little bits along the way there. And I think I love to honor this in the way of talking about it like a giraffe. I think this is the best metaphor I've ever heard of it. It's like a giraffe being born, right? You know how you see the and their mum gives birth and there's this in its sack and then all of a sudden it's out and it's trying to walk and it's super fucking awkward. It's like, what am I doing? These big leg things, I don't know what the fuck they are. I don't even know what they do, but apparently my mum walks on them, so I'm going to try and do that too. And you see them start to try and get up and then try and, stumble and keep getting up and they fall down and then they get up and they fall down, right? They're just like coming into this beautiful life and they've, not had to deal with gravity. And so they're trying to work out what the fuck to do with it because they're like, what is this shit? And they're like just getting up, falling down, getting up, falling down. And I feel like that's been the transition for me over the last little while, right? Obviously, the death of being in the army, obviously, the death of the old self, right? So many parts to that. The people pleaser, the good girl, like so many bits are dying even deeper, right? Because as we know, all of these things are just the worst. And also parts of us that will get to unlearn to relearn this new beautiful version. So, all perfect, all part of the journey. And though it's so interesting when you start to step into it. And I feel like I've been going on events, which is super beautiful. And I have met some incredible women, right? Doing some incredible fucking things. And they're so passionate. I fucking love passionate women, right? It's just such a vibe. And we get to support each other. And I went to this incredible launch of the book. So the co-author of the Rich Lady Revolution, I am a co-author and I'm fucking so excited. Guys, I'm a fucking co-author. Like what the actual? I am a co-author of a book, a real one. One that actually people read. Wild, right? About peace and profit. And we spoke about that if you've listened to my episode with Diane and all her books. And it's so beautiful to see what she's created. And then I got to go and be with all the beautiful women that have been a part of her books. And that was such a gift, right? To be in a room with women who are creating such an impact in the world and they're sharing their gifts and they're sharing their love and beauty and all of who they are, which is so beautiful. And also still being the giraffe along the way, learning, growing, all the things. Because we're not perfect. We're not fucking there, wherever there is, right? There's no such thing. But it's all about the journey, not the destination. And we forget that a lot as humans. And it's so interesting because went on that beautiful trip and then I got called to go to one of my beautiful, beautiful friends, her free event yesterday. So Saturday. Far out. What day is it? On Saturday, right? Beautiful woman, branding energetics. Candy is amazing. And she's no longer in the mastermind I'm in, but she was. And it was so incredible to watch her step into her self-expression and who the fuck she is, right? Even deeper because, I mean, we all journey this, right? We all journey this being self and being like, I don't actually give a fuck what you think. I am fucking amazing and I believe in me, right? And that is, oof, right? That's big calls. That's big fucking statements. And loving yourself even deeper. And we get to keep going through this journey and keep doing that, right? And so I watched her and I was like, fuck yeah. And in that moment, I got to see how she curated an event. And of course, my beautiful coach, who is the same, her coach, called me forward and told me I had to go and run a free event. And I am fucking excited about this because it actually reminded me of how much I get to give in this world, right? Like how much impact I get to create. And that is a fucking gift. Like to be able to create impact in people's lives where they remember you, right? For helping them, for supporting them, for even just saying something on this podcast. Like I get to create impact on this podcast with you. That's fucking wild, right? And such a gift that I have been given in this world. And so I really want to talk into fucking self-expression because so many other pieces actually, but that's what I want to go into this episode when I get there. Still a few more recaps, so just hold on. Anyway, I met some incredible businesswomen in Sydney. I got to connect with new people, and that has been a dream, right? Sometimes there's time for hermit mode, which I'm fucking very good at, those that know me well. And sometimes there's time to be pulled and allowed to get out of your comfort zone and go and meet new people. And that's a fucking beautiful thing. And to be able to see Candy at the end and tell her how incredible she was and what a gift it was that she shared her passion and love and who she is with the world was a blessing. To meet and reconnect with some beautiful women who I hadn't seen in a while was beautiful. And yeah, it just felt amazing. And I went there as well with a bit of an intention, right? Because of a fucking course I went with an intention. One, to meet incredible business entrepreneurs in Sydney. Tick. Two, to also be pitched to. And this is a really big thing, right? Because in business and sales, a lot of the time people are like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting pitched to or I'm getting sold to and I don't like it. It feels uncomfortable. Babe, let's be real. You go to an event where somebody has a business, they're going to sell to you. Like that is only within the most beautiful part. And it's actually a disservice if they don't, to you and to them. Because what if you fucking really, really want what they're offering? You don't know until they fucking tell you about it. So it was a really beautiful piece because I got to sit with watching her fucking carve it up, right? And this is a skill that she's developed. This is a third Australian tour. So I get to learn this skill and we get to perfect it in our own way because I've seen it done by other people. In some ways, I don't like it. You know what I mean? There's some people that do it in a way, like the masculine male way I'm not as into. I like the feminine way. And it just reminded me of even some skills that I have learned recently in business. And it reminded me that even with, because she does branding and content and all the things, we get to niche down. And I've been told this by spirit many times, right? Being a mystic, being someone who channels, sometimes I resist the fucking calling, right? And that's a wild ride. But sometimes God is spirit, universe, all of them are like literally telling me the thing, right? They've been doing this for a while and they're like, oi bitch, sort it out. And I think sometimes they sit up there and they just shake their head and they're like, we have honestly told this woman to do these things so many fucking times and she's honestly just not listening. Yes, I do it too, even though I know it's the right thing. But then, of course, they guide me in another way to go to another event to be reminded even deeper of the thing, right? They hit you with a feather, they hit you with a brick, and then they fucking hit you with the Mack truck. That's how the universe works. Sometimes they do it more than that, just depending on how much they need you to know. So what I love is I've been literally guided recently by incredible women in my life and my coach and all these people to niche down into defense women. And I was not going to lie to you, I was scared to niche down because I think sometimes when you do, it's like this thing where you're like, what if I'm talking to defense women, but then I miss out on all these beautiful souls who could use my guidance and support. And that's not how this works. The universe is always going to bring you souls who actually genuinely want the medicine that you have. And being a mystic, being a fucking energy healer, being like a psychic that channels, I bloody get messages all the time for people and I channel them and my clients, and so much comes through to me that helps them in their business, their life, their work, their leadership especially, and then their health. And like that is the gift of me. It's not always just about what I know, but it's also about what I'm channeling for them. And this is what this podcast is about. It's a pure channel. Sometimes I don't remember what I've actually said in the whole podcast. And that is the best part because it means that I'm channeling what you need to hear. It's not about me. All of this is about being able to help and support the women who need and know that we have a soul contract together, that we will work together, that I am the right woman to hold you through this, right? And I know I am. It's you listening to your soul calling. So this is a reminder for anyone who's being fully called to work with me and it's a fuck yes in your body, say yes. Because when I said yes to going to Candy's event, what she reminded me was I get to niche down, I get to talk to the women directly. And this is going to be fucking potent, right? Because I'm going to go into some topics, right? We're going to go into working in a male-dominated industry. Oh, girl. We're going to go into probably some trauma stuff. And that will be another episode. These all will be other episodes. But we're going to go into some deep shit. And I'm going to fucking call you out because I know you because I've been you. Ha! And babe, there's some things I fucking needed to hear. Especially in my journey when I wasn't in my body and I wasn't connected spiritually. And there's some shit I still get to hear. This is why I have a coach. She fucking tells me, don't you worry. If you think for a second that I don't have a woman that fucking tells me when I'm fucking not seeing things and when there's stuff coming in from one side or like I'm, avoiding it or not listening to the calling, she will literally brutally in the most loving way. And this is the best part, right? When you have someone who fucking loves you and coaches, like this is the coaching industry, when you fucking know your soul contract is with this person and they love you, when they say the brutal thing, it is fucking so amazing because yeah, of course it's going to annoy you sometimes. Yeah, of course sometimes you're going to be angry at them. Sometimes you're going to have feelings, right? But it's always a thing that you needed to hear and it's always going to serve your higher purpose and your highest good. Whether it's in that moment, whether it's in a week, whether it's in 2 weeks, whenever it lands, right? Because my coach also called me out this week and was like, why don't you work with veterans? Why don't you do this? And then she was like, I told her about my belief of like, oh, maybe that won't work. And she was like, oh, cool story you're fucking telling yourself. And this is the thing. We tell ourselves so many fucking stories around all the things and then we create it because we're the creator of our own reality. So that is when you listen to the fucking calling and when you allow yourself to actually be held and supported and for someone to see your blind spots. Because, babe, there's so many blind spots that we have that we don't see that when we're fucking with someone who also love and divinely channels for us, we get to actually receive the gifts that are going to move the needle. And that is fucking wild, right? Also, she's built literally she's a multi-millionaire. So of course I'm going to fucking be in her world so I can create millions. And there's so many big things coming, babe. Watch the fuck out. Honestly, I am fucking, you thought you've seen me, but whoo, babes, I'm be calling some shit out and I'm loving it. And I'm going to be totally, totally in love for you for it because I needed to hear a lot of this stuff as well. So now that I've caught you up on my life and now that I get to speak to you as a fucking high-performing defensewoman, let's talk about self-expression. And I want this to be the theme today because I've roped it into talking to you about me being a mystic and a fucking healer and a psychic and I channel and I'm literally all the things. Took me a while to actually accept, honor and talk about this gift because for ages I was like, I'm a military woman. I don't do these things. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the military. That would be weird, right? And then I realized I'm fucking amazing. And I'm actually really fucking good at it. Like to the point where I transform women's lives in my transmission, like literally in the transmission of my speech. I literally help women have more self-expression. Why? Because I've walked this journey. I remember a time when I was literally, I would say primary school. No, it might have been early high school. It was year 7. And I actually couldn't do a speech to the class at all. Like I would be in full shakes. I would be crying. I wouldn't be able to literally open my mouth to speak. And it was scary as fuck, right? It was scary as fuck. Scary as fuck. And so I used to have to deliver it just to my teacher, and I would still be shaking while I was speaking. That didn't fucking help anything. And eventually my mum was like, you have to fucking do it in front of the class. Like the teacher was like, we can't keep doing this. And I was like, fuck. And also because I was really struggled to read as a child, it didn't really help because even having palm cards didn't make it any easier because I was freaking out and had trouble being like reading. And so that caused an issue, right? Because I was like, oh my God, I can't read very well. How am I going to do all the things? So I was like, I remember this day, I'm standing there with my speech, looking at all my peers, and we all fucking know doing shit to your peers is not very fun. And I'm reading and I'm crying because let's be real here, that fear didn't fucking go away. And I'm doing the thing terribly, probably missed most of the cards in my hand. I'm pretty sure I said 1,000 times. Pretty sure I actually stopped talking for a little while. And the teacher gave me probably an F because it was fucking horrible. I had to redo it in front of her right? We went backwards. Step 2, when I got into year 11, okay, so this is the journey. I'm finally doing it in front of the class. That was a fucking, thank goodness, I can be at school. I can do it in front of the class. Then I decided to become sports captain. I thought, oh, fuck yeah, I won't have to do anything apart from play sport and be epic at it and motivate people, which I'm fucking really good at. And so I was like, I'm going to become sports captain. Amazing. And then they're like, you have to actually say shit. Now, in a sporting arena, when you've done it all your life and you generally know what to do to a degree, or you just have to tell people where to be or what's going on, kind of a bit easier, right? And I've grown a little bit. I've spoken in front of my peers a few times. They're also younger than me. I get to, I'm kind of growing in that space. And then when I hit year 11, one of the ladies who was in year 12 was like, you should become school captain. And I was like, oh my God, no. I was like, absolutely fucking not, right? But this is what a calling does for you, right? Like, let's come on this journey with me, team. And this is what self-expression is about. So I told my mum I wanted to go to Toastmasters. And she was like, okay. I'm sitting in the car. She's telling me I don't have to go. I'm fucking going. I've definitely told this story before. I've just realized. But I fucking kept going. And I kept talking. And then I became school captain. And then I kept going. And I kept going. And I kept just, though, appeasing other people. And this is what I want to talk about, self-expression. I kept, being on stages when I went to introduce my mentor, and that was really cool. And I kept doing and following a framework that was other people's. I wasn't truly expressing all of me. And this is what landed for me on the weekend. Even in this, I've appeased at times, and sometimes I'm channeling. So most of the time I'm channeling. So that's not always the way. But I'm also been a lot where I've been in a box, right? The military is a prime example of that. We get stuck in this place where we literally are meant to be a certain person. And as women, we lose ourselves. As defense women, we don't know who the fuck we are because we're following who we have to be to the fucking T. We are in a male-dominated industry. We are trying to be like them. And there were so many moments throughout my career where I would appease and people please. Men would say their opinions louder. They would start talking when I was talking. They would throw science at me and pretend like they knew more. They would decide what I needed by, maybe if I was crying, take me away and then start kissing me because apparently that was what I needed. Bullshit. Fuck me. They would place a hand on my leg because apparently that's what I needed, to be comforted. Go fuck yourself. And I had to have fucking big conversations with these people, right? I had to be like, this is not appropriate. And though I also would appease them in that because I didn't want to cause a rift. I didn't want to get them in trouble. Right? Fuck. And only through watching the growth of this and even seeing the reel, if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's fucking epic. Of me dancing in my uniform and how that reached the whole of the Australian Defence Force. And there was a lot of opinions, right? Of course there are. Everyone's got fucking opinions. They're like assholes. We've all got one, whatever. So all these opinions are hilarious, by the way. Some of them are quite brutal. And some of them are lovely. You know, like there's a real divine sense of them all. And so it's actually so interesting when you get to put yourself out there and express yourself. I'm dancing in my uniform. Civilians and friends of mine that aren't in the army were like, I don't get it. I'm actually not doing anything apart from saying I'm fucking awesome. God forbid I'm a woman with a voice. And what was really funny is how all the men are the ones that are telling me that I can't have a voice or all of these different things to make me small, right? Not women, men. Okay, we had a slight interruption there. I had the man who was coming to fix the aircon unit. I thought he was coming before 12, so I was like, oh, all good. I'll start the podcast after 12. But you know what the most beautiful part about this is? It turns out that I might be getting a whole new aircon unit because it's fried, which is amazing. And I think it's so beautiful. I was obviously on a vibe with self-expression, and in being self-expressed with you on this podcast, I received the gift of a man coming in, going to fix my aircon. Well, he'll get me a new one. And he told me a beautiful, beautiful story about his family and, how much he loves them. It was actually so beautiful to see how much he honors and loves his beautiful family and that he could share his story so openly. And he genuinely was just a really beautiful energy. And so I think this is so interesting because when you start expressing yourself, you actually start to receive. And this is not what I thought I'd be talking about today, but I think it's a beautiful segment, right? When you start to actually stand for things, when you start to say what you need, when you start to actually allow yourself to be fully expressed in all the parts of you as a woman, especially in our femininity, because there are so many parts, as I've spoken about so many times before. And when you stop putting yourself in a box, right? When you stop being what they want you to be, when you stop doing that, you actually allow yourself to receive because the universe, one, actually knows what the fuck you want. Because for so long, when we're trying to fit into a box, the universe is sitting there being like, who are you? What do you actually want? It'll give you all these things, but it's like, you're like, oh, that's not what I want. It's like, well, if you're trying to fit into a box that's someone else's and you're not expressing your true wants and needs and what you actually fucking think and who you are, then of course you're not going to get what you want. Because the universe is so confused. They're like, why are you trying to be like Bridget? Why are you trying to be like, I don't know, Bridget was the first name that came to my head. I don't even know any Bridgets. Well, why are you trying to be like the army is fucking telling you to be? Like, this is a huge thing, right? Because this happens through school, this happens through all of the things, is like when you get told to be something or to be like, let's say in the army, we follow the rules and they break you down when you first join and they build you back up to who they want you to be, right? And so many of us get lost in that. We don't know who we actually are either when we leave or without the Defence Force, or who we are even in the Defence Force but not at work. Like we lose that sense of identity of who is me in my presence. And I'm not even saying who is Kadi, because that's another identity, right? I'm saying who is literally this energetic frequency. Not even me as a meat suit, as my body, right? Not even me as Kadi, not even me. They're all identifications as being in the army, not even me as being a physical training instructor. And how do we flow with that? Like just then, it was so interesting. I was like, ooh, I was talking about self-expression. I was in all these things and I was so excited and I obviously was in flow with you. And then I was like, oh, the universe wants me to stop and receive a message to give to you through receivership because I was expressing myself. Fuck. It is wild what happens when you fully express who you are. When you talk about being the mystic, maybe you've never told anyone that you actually see dead people. Maybe you've never actually even investigated your emotions or understand what they mean or even know why you have them. Maybe you've never investigated what happened in your childhood to understand and be with what's happening and how that is affecting you now. Maybe you've never even looked at your relationship with money. Maybe you've never looked at your relationship with health. Maybe you've actually never been aware of the stories that you keep telling yourself, right? And how you don't flow with life, how you try and control it. Because I've been that fucking person. I've tried to control all the outcomes. I've tried to, and Army's so fucking good at this, right? Be like the good girl, the one who does the right thing to get the right job, to meet the right people, to be friends with people I don't even fucking like. Because they're the cool kids. They're the people that get the things. Sometimes you're even friends with the person who speaks up the most because you're like, fuck, I wish I could do that. Because you're too scared to do it yourself. That's been me. I always laugh with one of my really good friends, and I fucking am obsessed with her. And she is so out there, right? Says all the things. And I was always really comfortable, slash, like, she'll talk to anyone. She's, amazing. And I would be really comfortable being with her because I wouldn't have to speak. I'd just smile, right? Fuck. I really never honored how fucking amazing I am. And I laugh when one day she said that when she first met me, everyone thought I could only see one version of me. And just like only saw me one way. And she was like, this bitch is wild. She was like, this bitch, honestly, you fucking get to know her and she is fucking wild. And with her, I would say all the fucking shit, right? I'd be fucking calling shit out. I'd be like, what the fuck's going on over there? You know what I mean? Like, what? And I would be fully expressed and wild as absolute fuck because I felt safe doing it there. And full expression, not a lot of people will do it unless they feel safe or secure. So you may do it with a friend, right? But why the fuck don't we do it even when people hate us? Even when people are going to say shit? Because guess what, babe? They are not your fucking friends. And it's really great to see the ones you don't fucking want to be friends with. And in the army, sometimes we're friends with people that are absolutely terrible humans. And we're friends with fucking epic humans that we will talk to afterwards, right? And we will have relationships with. But you can fucking also choose to be a standout and not be friends with lots of people. I used to have to protect my energy so much that I would stay home and I would sleep because it was too much energetically to hold. I didn't know this. I didn't do energetics back then. I didn't fucking have any idea that I was holding everyone else's shit energetically because I didn't have protections around me to make sure I didn't take their shit on. I didn't realize that I was doing any of that. I didn't realize that I actually needed to do things that honored me so I could fill my cup, but I didn't know what they fucking were. And I also was like, I want to fit in. I want to belong. I want to be part of the group. Now I don't want to be part of any groups. Fuck is all. You know what I mean? In the best loving way. Because also I fucking love some women who know me and fucking will message me if I get 1,000 horrible comments on Instagram or call me and be like, bitch, I love you. but they know me, right? They've seen me in the darkness and the deep shit. They've seen me in the light. They've seen me in all of it. But it's about time to show the fucking world. And this may not be everyone's calling, but it's fucking mine. And so I want this today to be a fucking piece for you. Express yourself unapologetically and fucking wild, even deeper. With whoever that is, that's you. See, confirmation. That fucking bing. I don't know if you heard it, but it's fucking confirmation. With whoever you need to, right? Because this is not, maybe it's fucking with everyone. Like me, you're like, I have to express and use my fucking voice because that is my gift. Maybe it's just with someone close to you. But you get to be all of you and you get to fucking say the thing. And those who love you and support you and know you will fully support you, love you, and be there to listen to you even when it's hard. And that's a really big thing. So if you're a woman right now who's conforming, if you're a woman right now who doesn't actually know who the fuck she is without a identity of your name, an identity of your job, an identity of your service, of the Defence Force, whether you're in or not, then babe, I honestly ask you today to explore who is the woman who gets to express herself fully. I don't mean just in the fucking saying what you want to say. I mean in the softness of who you are as a woman and your femininity, the power of your fucking voice, absolutely, and trusting yourself that the universe is always going to show you the right path, flowing and allowing, and even when you have interruptions, realizing what they're teaching you, because that is a fucking gift. And I hope you got something out of today. If you did, I would love for you to share this with every woman who fucking needs it. And go out there and fully fucking express yourself in every part of who you are. I love you. Thank you for listening to Unapologetically Wild. Like, comment. I love all the feedback from this episode. You can DM me on Instagram, all the things. I'm so fucking glad to be back and in your ears. And I'm so grateful that you choose to listen to this episode. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. Have the most incredible day, night, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. Keep being unapologetically wild.